Hello, so this is Yi. Can you briefly introduce yourself to us?
Yes, my name is Yi. I'm an Asian American Studies major and I'm a fifth year. I am currently the student director for Southeast Asians Furthering Education, which is also known as SAFE, under the Student Recruitment and Retention Center, which is the SRC, which we're at right now. Where do I begin? I think the biggest thing that's sticking out to me right now would probably like a year ago when I came out as a sexual assault survivor. Um, and I spoke at Take Back the Night here at UC Davis. Um, and when I came out, it was more of like, you know what? I'm gonna come out because I know so many people might be going through the same thing and they might not know what to do. And because I've kind of, or I am going through like this process, like maybe I could reach out to someone just like me. Um, and when I came out, I thought that was like the most liberating thing that like anyone could have done. Um, but when my family heard about it, there was like a huge backlash in terms of like you told the whole world like you're this, like what does that mean to our family? How would that look for the public? Um, where's bless you. Like how does that even look for our family? Basically, like it's embarrassing to like let the world know that you're this type of person. Um, so for me, when I was thinking, I was like, you know what? I think this was like, I don't know, something that I needed to do and I wanted to do um, to my recovery. Um, but on their end, it was very selfish of me to do that. Um, and again, I think that was when I had a very hard time understanding like what did I do wrong, um, like what was miscommunicated, um, and I don't know, like it was like, oh, I should have thought about family, but at the same time, I'm thinking about myself too,
Yeah.
um, and not to say that they will never know the pain I went through, but just kind of say like, I wanted to make this decision by myself and not have to go through every single family member to make this
Yeah.
decision to come out. Um, and so I felt very conflicted in terms of like, I don't know if that was either the best thing to do or the worst thing to do. And that was when it really clashed. And again, like I had the hardest time trying to understand where my family was coming from, and they had the hardest time where I was coming from. Yeah.
In many historical and contemporary narratives, there are many instances of Vietnamese and Vietnamese American women making sacrifices in order to uphold culturally enforced gender norms and to preserve their family name. This can include things like suppressing traumatic experiences and remaining silent, which can be detrimental to one's healing process. Like in the film The First Morning, Yi Zong, a Southeast Asian identified woman, speaks about her struggle to be true to her family and her culture while also being true to herself.
So my family doesn't really ask me about like how are you doing, like kind of checking in. They don't really ask until I don't know unless it's like necessary. Um, so sometimes I feel like I can't really bring it up to family because I feel like, well, I don't want to bring up any more conflicts within the family. Because even now, like a lot of my family members, or at least some, like they refuse to like even acknowledge me anymore, right? Um, so I guess just that whole experience of coming out as a survivor, like really hit them in that way. It was like they, it was rubbed the wrong way, and they felt like, oh my god, like it's such an embarrassment that you had to come out in this way, and that like you've been telling people that you're this type of person. Um, so even now, I feel like although that's something that I should be proud of, like with family, it's a totally different story. Um, yeah, I just feel like maybe like inside the family, inside the house, like and I don't even bring it up just to avoid that just to avoid the conversation, the awkward conversation that like that nobody wants to kind of go through.
But it's not really something you can forget, though.
Yeah, like definitely. Like yeah, it kind of honestly sucks that like every night I have to go home and like continuously look, behind me. And so it's the little things that kind of just live with me, and I can't really forget about it. Instead of just, again, like being quiet, like who does that? Like who can stay alive and sane enough to like while being silent. And I feel for me, it's just like again, like I have to do a lot of waiting, and then like just to like hear like what will happen, um, and also like stay in silence. And I think that's like my biggest like frustration, is to stay silent about my experience.
Thank you. I think we